Okay, so here we have notes for 7-9, exponential versus linear. Oh, geez, just throwing my tablet on the floor. Which comes up a ton, at least multiple times during your Regents exam. Sorry, I'm super uncomfortable right now. So, there you go, look at the ceiling. We're also going to introduce some new vocab words here that are going to come into play a lot during our next Unit 8. So, stay tuned. Linear relationships. Linear relationships have what is called a common difference, which, as you've guessed, is the same exact thing as a constant rate of change. Which, as you know, is also the same thing as a slope, that gradient, that change in y over change in x, that constant rate, all of those fancy words that mean slope. You now have another one added on to that, common difference. And what that common difference means, that just means that you are adding or subtracting by the same amount each time. And the equation that we know for linear that we've been using for day one is that y equals mx plus b, where the two pieces that get filled in are the m and the b, being the slope and the y-intercept. So new vocab word for linear is that common difference. Next, we have exponential. Exponential isn't adding or subtracting by the same amount, which actually makes sense as to why they use the word difference, because difference is subtraction in math. So it actually makes sense for once. Just kidding, math always makes sense. Anywho, exponential, instead of having a common difference, they have what's called a common ratio, aka that multiplying factor. Here we have something that you are either multiplying by the same amount each time. And yes, it could be or dividing, but just keep in mind that every division isn't written as division, it's written as multiplication by a fraction. You know, dividing by 3 really just means times 1/3. So dividing does count, but it's not written that way. So just keep that in mind. And then your exponential equation, that y equals a times b raised to the x power, where the pieces that get filled in are the a and the b. Okay, so missing the first part, to determine if a table or relationship is linear versus exponential, you're going to want to look for patterns. You're going to want to be looking for if you're adding or subtracting by a similar amount each time, or if you're multiplying by a similar amount each time. And that will help you distinguish between the two of them.